Hi, Ameer. Glad to see you've written us some new essays. Let's take a look and see what you said today. Today, the internet and TV have created that chance for ordinary people to become famous. Is it a positive or negative development in your opinion? Okay, let's see what you said. Experts from both the developing and developed world have debated whether the role of internet and TV in making ordinary people famous is valuable or detrimental. I totally agree that chances created through the media are crucial. This essay will discuss my opinion using examples from UK and Oxford University. Okay, on the whole, it's fine. It's it's written appropriately. The middle sentence for me is a little problematic. Let me show you what I mean. Here, I totally agree that chances created through the media are crucial. You know what I think is happening here, Ameer? I think the word choice is incorrect. So it's affecting your whole introduction. Let me show you what I mean. Specifically, the words that are problematic for me are chances and crucial. Okay? I think you mean something different. I think what you're trying to say, I have to read the rest of your essay to be certain, but I think what you're trying to say is, I totally agree that opportunities created through the media are very valuable for people and for society, or for the stars and for society as a whole. So, like I said, I want to take a look at how you develop the rest of your essay to see if that is in fact what you're trying to say. But I definitely believe that these two words are hindering this paragraph, okay? So let's move on. There is ample evidence that the media gave lots of people the initial chance to show their abilities. The central reason behind this is twofold. Okay, firstly, people who appear in, not on, people who appear in the media are likely to get the funds they need. Okay, this absolutely needs to be developed. You've given me this idea and you need to support it. So who are you talking about? What are you talking about? Give me an example. So I may be thinking of something completely different than what you're thinking of. And now a way you could develop this is, for example, you could say something like, a good example of this is game shows where the winner receives a prize. Or you could talk about maybe reality shows where the winner of the reality show also wins a large monetary prize. Okay, so something like that is absolutely necessary here. Secondly, the media play a pivotal role in, you're missing a preposition here, discovering talents. For example, recent empirical research in UK demonstrated that 80% of the talents appearing, ing, in The Voice UK got generous offers. Explain what kind of generous offers, please. I think you mean generous offers from record companies, right? Therefore, it is conclusively clear that TV and internet give useful chances. All right, that's fine. That's well done. It's what you should be doing. So good. Just you had to change. This was important to me. Okay, this absolutely needed to be added. Otherwise, it's not a well-supported paragraph. Okay, let's move on. Not to mention, although there is a case for fake stories enriching shows, the impact of the successful experiences should not be overstated. All right, there is some trouble with this sentence. First of all, not to mention is not appropriate here in the beginning of the sentence. It's not an appropriate linker. I'm not really sure what you're trying to say here, what kind of a linking device you're trying to use, but definitely not to mention is not doing you any favors here. Why don't we just remove it and see if the sentence makes sense without it, okay? So, although there is a case for fake stories, I don't even know what this means. What do you mean by fake stories enriching shows? And why are we talking about that here? Because when you say, although there is a case for, etc., it's almost as if you mentioned that up here, but you didn't. So I'm not really sure where all of this is coming from. I'm really rather confused. Okay, so let's move on, though. The impact of the successful experiences should not be overstated. This is largely because people are likely, excuse me, to learn from these stories. For example, an extensive study by Oxford University showed that 70% of, you're missing an of here, the people seeking advice find it on the internet rather than in their community. Consistent with this line of thinking, the talk shows like Oprah Winfrey, capital O, capital W, have a paramount role in discussing and solving, you could say, social problems or the problems of society or society's problems. So there are a handful of things you could do. This doesn't work. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that the media has a leading role in societies. Careful. Remember, a chance for ordinary people to become famous. Okay? Are you talking about that here? I don't see that. Okay? I really don't see that at all. I mean, it's as if, you know what I feel like? I feel like you've gone off topic, and I feel like here you were talking about, yes, it's very positive to have ordinary people become famous through the TV and internet, and here you're just talking about the positives and negatives and so forth of the media. Really off topic, okay? So you need to essentially rewrite this to make sure that you are sticking to your focus of ordinary people, here it is again, ordinary people becoming famous. All right? Okay. From the points and examples given, I firmly believe that the chances created through the media are definitely a positive development. It is predicted that the role of the media in creating successful societies will increasingly grow in importance. Okay, fine. So the holistic kind of view of this essay is that there's problems with, there's missing support here. And then this was really unclear in terms of its development. It didn't seem to fit at all and was rather off topic. So what you're looking at here is a reduced task achievement score because it has those two elements, and you can look at the general band, you can look at, not the general, sorry, you can look at the public band descriptors, that's what I meant, to see where your score would fall, having a paragraph that is irrelevant or not having some of your ideas supported, okay? So you can check that out to see what that would mean for you. In terms of your grammar, I noticed that there's either missing prepositions or incorrect prepositions. I wouldn't say that it was in every sentence, but you had a number of those, all right? So potentially that could lower your grammar score. I'm not saying that it would lower it from like an 8 to a 7, but I mean, it does for sure affect your score there. The vocabulary was fine. I mean, you had things like paramount role. What else did I like? I liked conclusively clear. Pivotal role was also really nice. I like those expressions. There were a couple of things, though. Okay, this was nice too. Valuable or detrimental. So some nice things there. That was good. Generous offers is also nice. So you had some nice collocations, a nice like a group of vocabulary. So I liked that. Okay, and I don't have much to say in terms of your coherence and cohesion, which means that it was pretty seamless. It didn't draw any tension, so that's good. Okay, I think we've covered this essay really quite a bit. Wow, okay, we have. We've been talking about it for about 9 minutes, so let's go now to your task 1. This one is tricky for a lot of people. This is great that you put this up here so I could look at it. Thank you. Let's see what you did. The graph illustrates the rainfall in England, Scotland, and Wales in 2018. The amount of rain is demonstrated in milliliters. It can be seen that all trends are extensively volatile. Okay, all right, let's move on. I like the word volatile, but I don't know about extensively. I think volatile is kind of an absolute adjective anyway, so it doesn't need to be modified with something like extensively. All right, volatile in and of itself implies something rather extreme and rather extensive, so I don't think this adverb helps you at all here. All right, moving on. The year starts with the highest rainfall in Scotland with about 125 ml, then a slightly less amount in England. At the same time, Wales experienced less than 50 ml. Each of these 3 countries had one major rain trough throughout the year. The troughs of Scotland, no the here, and Wales, capital W, were the worst with around 25 ml, while that of England was around 75 ml. What would really help me here is if you told me when these occurred. Okay? Okay. Where am I? Here. The peak was about 140 ml. And it happened 3 times, 2 of them in Scotland in March, capital M, and October, while the third was in Wales, capital W, in July. Withal, England's peak, no P, no capital here, happened also in July, which was a little less than these of the other 2 countries. Nice grammar here. Well done. Let me see. 2 of them in Scotland. England's peak happened also in July. Let me see what you're referring to here. Yeah, you know what though? Check this out. Look what's happening in December. It's like the same number, isn't it? So be careful, okay? I mean, it's fine. It's a detail really, but okay. Wales witnessed a plateau of almost 40 ml of rain, no capital R, between August and October. Good. The year ended with around 160, 110, and 60 ml of rain in England, Scotland, and Wales, capital W, respectively. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let me tell you a few words about this paragraph here. You did something that I really liked, something that I find very helpful in these types of diagrams. You started with where everyone was in the beginning, and you ended with where everyone was at the end. So I found that really helpful. It gives me like a frame of reference for both the beginning and the end. You gave me some important parts throughout the middle. So you talked about those peaks, you talked about those low points, you even talked about this plateau here, which was good. So if I really want to be very detail oriented here and tell you the areas that I wasn't a huge fan of, it was here. Where was that? Where you didn't tell me, there was this one I think it was this, where you didn't tell me when these low points happened, okay? And also, since you were kind of working with the data in a chronological kind of way, I felt like you kind of flip-flopped a little bit. So you talked about Scotland, March and October, and then Wales in July. So that, for me, was, I mean, I understand why you did it. It just didn't help me really in kind of establishing a visual of what was happening. So you're talking to me about March, then you're talking to me about October, and then you're going back to July. So that kind of thing was just, I mean, it's not a tragic thing, really. I just want to point that out to you. But when I'm trying to visualize it, the data, it doesn't help me to do that so much, okay? Keep that in mind. You're trying to describe the task, you're trying to describe the diagram in such a way that if somebody doesn't have it in front of him or her, he could more or less create a rough sketch of it, okay? Alrighty, so, but it was fine. Nice vocabulary, plateau, witnessed, you had some good grammar here. So, good job overall, Ameer. Alright, now go ahead and correct these. Add to your error correction list and send them back. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. There are just some minor things here. You could have also maybe, you said they were volatile. Yeah, that's true. You could have said something. You know what? Let me tell you what you could have said here for an overview. You could have said that overall England had the most average rainfall of the 3. You could say that rainfall throughout the year varied considerably with multiple peaks and troughs and a couple of plateaus. So something like that. But it's fine too. I'm not trying to correct what you wrote, but I am trying to give you a couple of suggestions on how else you could have extended this, given maybe a little more information. Alrighty, so send us the corrections, send us your error correction list and your new essays. Okay, looking forward to seeing your next set.